Hello, good evening. Good evening, everyone. I'm just getting settled in. It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, and I want to thank you for tuning in with me at Cafe de Paris. I thought it was very imperative that I did this short video. Hi, Met V. Thank you for tuning in. As always, one of my loyal subscribers. You never miss a beat. Thank you for tuning in. I thought it was very imperative that I did this video this afternoon. Another one of those stories. I mean, we hear about cases like this all of the time. This is nothing new. I've done several videos telling women about being careful of what type of men who they move into their home, what type of men they allow to be in the company of their children. And it just saddens me that a lot of these women are not getting it. They're not getting it. They are allowing these men to be in the presence of their home, among their children, and they don't have to know these men from Adam. Thank you all for stopping by to rock out with me this evening. It is your girl, Lady Mocha, here at Cafe de Paris. Thought it was very imperative that I did a video on this. It has gone viral for you who are not aware of the situation. But mother sobs in court as horrific details of her 3-year-old daughter's death emerges. There's a lady by the name of Shamika Gonzalez, who unfortunately has lost her child due to the hands of her live-in husband. To give y'all a little background on this, Shamika Gonzalez is Bella's, that's the little girl's name, is Bella's biological mother. And unfortunately, I mean, it's terrible because the biological father of this child, he did not find out that the mother of his child's living husband was the one who killed his daughter. When he did find out, he found out through Facebook. So I can only imagine what he's feeling right now to hear that his daughter ended up getting murdered by the mother of his child's husband, and then he had to find out on Facebook. I mean, as insult to injury. Basically, headlines state a devastated father found out through Facebook that his 3-year-old daughter died after being abused by her stepfather. 35-year-old Kellan Edwards, a Brooklyn-based father, found out that his 3-year-old Bella died on April 2nd through Facebook. He got the news on April 4th, which was 2 days after the toddler's stepfather allegedly abused her physically and sexually before she breathed her last. Bella was pronounced dead on Monday, and the police have said that the child seemed to have been physically and sexually abused. I'm trying to pull up some more information on this. This is really, really messed up. Let's see. 32-year-old Mark Jenkins, that is the stepfather. This is the man who is married to the mother of his child, of the child that ended up getting killed in the process of this incident. 32-year-old Mark Jenkins, the stepfather, has been charged with murder and assault of the toddler. He has been babysitting Bella and the toddler's infant brother because the mother was away from home at the time. Jenkins is an ex-convict. Why does not surprise me. And he is originally from Rockaway Park, was alone with the 2 young children for almost 8 hours the day of the crime. Okay. Brown said it's a terrible case. The victim has an innocent little girl whose body revealed traumatic abuse injuries. She said, "Do you love me?" Yeah, Mom, I'm gonna have to call you back. Let me see. Edwards told the New York Post that he had never met Jenkins. Wow. And that his ex-partner Gonzalez met the child murderer at an Applebee's restaurant where they both worked at the time. Okay, these details are getting really interesting. Shamika Gonzalez sobbed in court as she learned that the man she loved had a child by 32-year-old Mark Jenkins. So basically, she had just had a child from him herself. He allegedly, well, it was found that he murdered the 3-year-old daughter, Bella Edwards. Gonzalez left her apartment around 7:30 a.m. Her children, Bella and 3-month-old Logan. Logan is his child. So she just had a child from this dude herself. And Bella is not his child. Bella is from a previous relationship by the name of, the father's name is, let me make sure I have this information correct. The biological father of this child, his name is, slow computer, Kelon Edwards. So Kelon Edwards is the biological father of this child. Mark Jenkins is the stepfather of the child. Basically, Shamika Gonzalez is the biological mother. She had no idea that she was leaving her children in the hands of a monster. I find it ironic, though, that he had no problem hurting her child, but he did not hurt the child that him and her just had. Very interesting. She finally returned home 6 p.m. She discovered Bella in her room unresponsive. Let's see. Let me see. Just bear with me, y'all, because I'm reading this while I'm giving y'all this information. Thank y'all for tuning in with me, Lady Mocha, here at Cafe de Paris. If y'all already don't know, it has gone viral. There's a 3-year-old girl, little girl by the name of Bella Edwards, unfortunately, who was murdered by the hands of her mother's husband, her stepfather, okay? I'm just kind of a little vague on the details, so I'm trying to give y'all as much details as possible. Bella Edwards was found unresponsive in her room. Gonzalez and Jenkins, they reportedly tried to revive Bella. So he had the audacity to try to help revive her, knowing he was the reason this child was dying. We got a straight psycho. Both was questioned by the New York Police Department. Additionally, baby Logan is the baby that him and her just had. He was also taken to hospital for evaluation. Jenkins was arrested and charged with the murder. I believe he's 36 years old. The man who murdered this child is, let me see how old he is. This is really unfortunate, y'all. I've been preaching about this 1,000 times, okay? He's 32 years old. Mark Jenkins, the stepfather, has been charged with murder and assault of the toddler. He had been babysitting Bella and the toddler's infant brother because the mother was away from home. Okay, I'm going to see if I can try to give y'all the link of this story so y'all can read more up on it. Shoot, it's a long link. It's not even letting me post the link because it's so freaking long. It's a long link. But, this is nothing new. We hear of this all the time. We hear of this all the time. This is something that is always on the news. It's always some desperate broad who's leaving her child in the hands of a stranger who she does not know that well. And it's sad that the father never even got to meet this dude. So it's a lot of women up here allowing these random men to move into their home, and they won't even let the father meet the men who are around their children. Now understanding, ladies, that sometimes, like, we have what's called intuition. Guys have you know, guys can be very intuitive as well. Sometimes, as much as we want to keep the other parent out of our business, but it's important that when you allow that child to meet your significant other, they may be able to see things that you don't see, you know. And like I tell my husband all the time, a man know a man and a woman know a woman. It's things that I can pick up on about another woman that my husband is not going to catch up on, because me as a woman, I know a woman, and I'm able to pick up on little things she does. I'm able to know if a woman is being malicious, mischievous, or manipulative. I have enough tools as a woman to be able to read that from another woman. And the same thing with my husband. He tells me all the time when I'm doing business with a man or I'm affiliating with a man, he wants to meet that man because men know men. So, of course, he's going to be able to size a dude up and say, you know what? I'm not feeling this dude. This dude is slick. This dude is slimy. You know, in other words, sometimes we save ourselves from calamities like this, and we just stop having so much pride and stop being bigoted and allow our significant other or the mother of our child or the father of our child, let them meet your significant other. They may be able to pick up on things that you don't always will be able to pinpoint. Now, understand there are some cases, like if you know your baby mama is full of drama, then in cases like that, you may not be able to introduce her to your new woman. But if you got people in your family, like sisters, like your mother, get other people to sometimes meet your companion so they can size your companion up. Because sometimes when you're up close in the picture, it's really hard for you to be able to decipher and see people for who they truly are, because you're so in love with the person, or you're so in love with the individual, you know, you really can't see the person for who they are. So sometimes you need a second opinion. You need somebody that's going to keep it real with you. You don't need somebody that's going to lie to you and try to dress it up and say, oh, girl, he's fine. Oh, girl, he's cute. He's this, he's that. You need somebody that's going to size up your significant other and say, hey, you know, I don't know where you met this man or where you met this woman from, but, you know, I'm just getting a different vibe. You may need to, you know, be around them a little while to get to know them, you know what I'm saying, before you take things any deeper than what it is. So sometimes you need a second opinion. And it's sad because I know right now the father of Bella's father is devastated and he's pissed. And he has every reason to be. He never even met this dude, and this dude been around his daughter. And this is the simple dumbass mistakes that many women make, because they so determined in getting a man, they so determined in getting a husband, they want so badly to fulfill this fantasy of having a family that they are willing to put their children at risk at all costs. Thank you for everybody for stopping by to dine in with me at Cafe de Paris. Thanks for coming in, Gregory, Rick. This is Matt V, Jamie C. Thank all of you for coming in today. If y'all didn't already know, it has gone viral. Little girl by the name of Bella Edwards, 3 years old, has been killed by 32-year-old Mark Jenkins, who is the husband of the biological, who is the she's the mother. She's the biological mother of the 3-year-old that he murdered. Okay, so as you can see, unfortunately, this has gone viral and it's really gotten bad. He's going to be charged with murder, and he needs to be charged with murder. I just posted the link if y'all want to go ahead and look into the story yourselves. Basically, I've done a video on this. I've preached this 1,000 times that women, y'all are getting too comfortable with moving these men into your home. Okay, now, also, let me point this out to all of you. After doing some more research, come to find out, there's already been prior incidences with Mrs. Gonzalez and Mr. Jenkins. From what I've read, let me see if I can find that. Because I've read something basically on that they've already been to this home before, because there was altercations prior. Before. Now, I don't think it wasn't altercations pertaining to the child. I'm trying to see if I can find that where it says police have already been out there twice. There's already been altercations between Mr. Jenkins and Mrs. Gonzalez. Okay, yeah, it says it here. Interesting enough, NYPD did reveal that officers were called to the home that Gonzalez and Jenkins shared twice to settle domestic disputes. So this further tells me it was already tension just between her and this man. Miss Gonzalez, she already had the police come out twice to settle 2 domestic disputes before it resorted to this point to where her child ended up getting hurt. Rissa, you stopped by for lunch? Okay. All right, be careful. You know the deal, right? Okay. Yeah, that was my daughter that came in. Yeah, definitely he's going to be charged. That's without a fact. So as I was stating, police already been called out there twice due to domestic disputes with just him or her. Note to ladies, If you and your dude is not getting along and he already doesn't have any respect for you, he's already put his hands on you, you've had physical encounters with him, you already know leaving your child around this type of individual is not a smart thing to do. My thing is, if I'm not comfortable with how you treat me, the last thing I'm going to do is leave my child in your presence. If me and you are always arguing, we always having verbal altercations, we always having physical fights, I'm not going to leave my child around you. If me and you don't get along, I'm not gonna, it's common sense. You don't leave your child around somebody and you and that person, y'all don't get along that well. Okay? So, basically she really put herself in a bad situation. The mother did not use any good judgment. And it's unfortunate that there are way too many women out here that are moving women within their home. Now, mind you, this are moving men within their home. Now, mind you, he already had a criminal record. Okay? He's already, he's a convict. He's already had a history of being in the correctional system. Now, this is my thing. As much as women love to use Facebook to do selfies, y'all love to use Instagram to take pictures, to do selfies, to do bus shots. You love to take pictures. You love to post everything on Facebook. You love to use the internet for all kind of stuff. But the stuff you need to use internet for, you don't. God has blessed us with all this access to technology where now you can find out all the information you need to know on a person just one click away. Every state has a website to where you can go. I know here in the state of Chatham County in Savannah, Georgia, there's a website where I can go on. It's like a court website. It's a website for court cases. You can go on that website daily to see if all you got to do is type in that person's first name and last name. You can look and see if they had any prior records or any prior convictions of any criminal activities, any history of abuse, any history of child molestation. Even in your county, they also have a website where you can see if you have a registered sex offender in your neighborhood. Women, we have all this access to technology, but do we use it for the right thing? No. We use it to take selfies. We use it to stalk our baby daddies. We use it to stalk the new chicks that are with our baby daddies. We use technology for everything but for something that's going to be beneficial to us and our safety and most of all our children's well-being. So this is really sad that this woman evidently had no knowledge of what type of monster she was bringing into the presence of her home. Because again, women are too busy going on how a man looks, and it's all about, I want a family, I want a husband, I want the picket fence, I want the cat, I want a dog. Women are so consumed with fulfilling this fantasy of having a family that they are willing to put themselves in harm's way. Now, I find it ironic now, keep in mind, she just had a baby, a newborn herself from this man, okay? They had a little baby by the name of Logan. So she just had a 3-month-old with Mr. Jenkins. Now, mind you, she's married to Mr. Jenkins, okay? So she did not do none of her research. She didn't do none of her research. I hate, as much as I want to sympathize with her, I sympathize with her for the loss to losing her child, but I don't sympathize with her that she did not use her wisdom. She did not use her discernment, and she did not use her common sense. She did not use none of that. And there's too many of you women out here. It's a woman out here doing it now. You know, you don't know this man. You only known him for a couple of weeks. You've only known him for a couple of months. You met him at the club, or you either met him on social media, or you met him while you was pumping gas. Whatever the case was, too many women out here, y'all are meeting these men and you are allowing them to be around your children without your presence being there, not checking to see if this man got a criminal record, not checking to see if this man is a registered sex offender, not checking to see if this man come from a crazy ass family. Because I'm sure 9 times out of 10, he don't, let me tell y'all something. You can't go by how a person looks. I'm sure he did not look like a molester. I'm sure he did not look like an abuser. You cannot go by how people look. You got a lot of nice looking, handsome ass dudes that are walking around here, look good, I mean, got good jobs. Every damn pervert don't have to look like no crazy ass, nerdy white guy with big, Coca-Cola bifocals. You need to, people get so fooled by looks. People are so fooled by looks, not understanding that a man, you can meet a man that's good looking, handsome, well dressed, and is a straight pedophile. Why you thinking he's talking to you because he's into you? He's talking to you and dealing with you because he's looking at how pretty your daughter is. You can run into this man at Walmart, running him at the mall. He asking for your phone number. He asking, okay, I would like to take you out. I'd like to date you. Meanwhile, his eyes is on your child. He's not even looking at you. But because some women are so thirsty and women love attention so much, a pedophile is very smooth. It don't take much for them to get in the homes of these vulnerable, dumb-ass, gullible-ass women, because they are so vulnerable and they so thirsty and they so badly want to have a man to call their own, and this is what happens, okay? So, this is basically what's going on with the situation. It's been a lot of details in court that has been revealed, and that has to be very gut-wrenching, because in court they describe every detail blow to blow. She's already been told that not only he physically hurt her daughter, he sexually assaulted her daughter. So me sitting as a mother, I could only imagine the grinching, gut-cringing details that she had to hear. This grown man probably climbing on top of this little baby, and I really don't want to go there, but use your imagination. Y'all know how deep this can get. You have some men out there, they don't like women's. They like little girls. They are turned on by children. Okay? You have a lot of men out there who got some sicknesses. You got some women too, because there are some women who have been known. You got some women that are also registered sex offenders. You got some adults out there that love children, who look at children in a sexual, demonic type of way. You got some people that are drawn to children. Okay? So, unfortunately, like I said, this is really, really gonna really affect both families. My heart goes out to the father of this child, Mr. Edwards. I can only imagine what he and his family is going through right now. The sad part is he never even got to meet this dude. It's sad, but he never got to meet this man who was around the mother of his child. And my thing is this. That was her husband, and I'm trying to figure out why this man never met her husband. That's what I don't get. I don't get that. Why as a parent, why as a mother, she did not allow this man to meet who was going to be around their daughter. That to me, I mean, if he hates this woman for the rest of his life, he has every reason to, because the way she handled this whole situation was just totally messed up. Yeah, no problem, Gregory. Appreciate that. No problem. Yeah, I mean, I preach this all the time. Women, you need to do your research. When you are dating and you've been seeing a man for a while, before you get so quick to moving him in your household, giving him a towel, giving him a pillow, before you get comfortable with giving him any access into your home, you need to do your research. You need to go on your local website, check your local county jail. You need to do a criminal background check. You need to do all of that. I know here in Savannah, they have it to where I can go on the website and I see all the registered sex offenders that's in my area. All I got to do is put in my address and it will show every registered sex offender that's around, that lives within my area. And I'm going to tell you, ladies, you have some very handsome guys. When I was on the sex offender register list, girls, I kid you not, these men are handsome. handsome. You wouldn't even believe how these good-looking men want children. They want kids. They want little girls, you know. And this is the sad part. Because y'all too busy going by how somebody looks. And there are some women, because you got some women who got such low self-esteem, they would rather mess with somebody's son, somebody's child, because they don't have enough confidence to go talk to a man their age, to try to get with a man their age. You got some women out there too now who like some young meat now. I'm telling you, y'all don't want to believe it, and it may sound like, you know, it sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, you got some people who love children. It's a sickness. You got some sick people out here who need help, who need counseling, who need spiritual guidance, and they will not get none of the help they need. And because they won't get the help they need, they don't see nothing wrong with dealing with a child, with touching a child, with having sex with a child. It's not only that, hell, you got some people within your own household that'll do it. Y'all would be surprised how many families are dealing with incest. Incest is a very big issue that a lot of people do not want to talk about, especially the black community. The black community, we don't want to talk about no incest. We think that just happens with these white folks in these country towns we never heard of, like called Haagen-Dazs or somewhere. We think cases like this only happen with white families, those who do polygamy and all kind of stuff. That is not true. You have a lot of black families that got incest going on in their family, and it's been a history of it transcending from generation to generation. And you will never know it, ladies and gentlemen. You could be sitting around these type of families. You could be at barbecues with this kind of family. You could be sitting in churches with these type of families and not even realize that there's a lot of incest. The father has touched his daughter, has had children with the daughter. The mother has had has allowed her son to conceive her with a child. I mean, you would be surprised. And while you seeing these children that look like they have cases of retardation and Down syndrome, you see all of these medical issues, and you thinking a child is just retarded or they got Down syndrome. I'm telling you, a lot of these special children that we see, a lot of them have this condition because they were conceived through relatives. They were conceived through relatives, okay? When the bloodline is too close, when you have a father that is having sex with his daughter, or a mother that is having sex with her son, or uncle that's having sex with his niece, or aunt that's having sex with her nephew, that child is going to have all type of what they say, disformities. You know, you'll see a child with all kind of disformities, you know, and you know, you'll look at them and see something is wrong. And in some cases, sometimes you can't tell because it doesn't always show up physically, but genetically, there's a lot that's going wrong because the bloodline is so close. You know what I mean? So if incest happens in families that are blood, what do y'all think the odds are with these women who are bringing in these stepfathers or these men that have no relation to their children? Double check these women out too and see if they have cases too. If you think about check out. Yes, Met V. I actually, there's somebody I kind of, my mom kind of knows a certain female. She had a case years ago when she was a teacher and she was teaching here in the public school system, and she was messing, it was like a Mary Kay situation. Like, I don't know if y'all heard of the white lady Mary Kay, who was messing with one of her students, and she lost her job, she lost her marriage, and she still was with the boy anyway. She still stayed with him all the way until he became a full-grown man, okay? They just divorced, I would say, maybe a couple of years ago. She took advantage of him during his youth. Her name was Mary Kay, and she was a teacher, and she did it. And she was known, I mean, she couldn't go nowhere without having to walk down Hall of Shame, because she basically took that, she robbed that boy's youth. She robbed his youth. And She lost her family. She lost her job. She fell in love with him. She fell in love with that young boy. Now, I don't know what's the fascination with these young boys, because a young boy can't do nothing for me but empty my trash. Or, go pick up my pizza for me. I don't see the fascination with young boys, because I don't have no patience to deal with them. But a lot of them do that. You know what I mean? It's a lot of them that do that. And guys, you do need to check, because some women do have criminal backgrounds of messing with children. Some of them used to teach at schools. Some of them used to teach in used to be Sunday school teachers at some of these churches. You have some very dark, desperate, lonely women who do not mind getting attention, even if it's just from a child. They will take attention from a child, and they will use that child vulnerability. A lot of women have done it. So I agree, Pat V. Guys, also do your research, because I know a lady now, she has been filed. She's a registered sex offender permanently. She cannot work around children. She cannot live in the area where children live. She can't live near no playgrounds. She can't live near no schools. She can't live near any type of those areas, because once you become a registered sex offender, your whole life changes. You are so restricted till it's not even funny. You can't work nowhere where there's children. You can't live nowhere where there's children. You can't have children in your family spend a night. No nieces, no nephews can come spend a night in your house. I mean, you got to report to a probation officer. You can't even have access to internet. Registered sex offenders are not allowed to have access to Facebook, Instagram. They're not even allowed to have access. It's so bad they can't even buy toys. They can't buy toys. They can't buy little teddy bears and stuff like that. They're not allowed to have things like that in their access, because the state sees it as them having these devices to lure children in. So it's a lot that comes along with the territory of dealing with a registered sex offender. But as I was stating, because I know I'm digressing, it's too many of you women. Y'all are so thirsty. Y'all are moving these men into your homes, and you don't know these men from Adam. You don't check to see if they got a criminal background. You don't check to see what kind of family they from, because you don't know if he comes from a family where there's uncle. He has an uncle that's a child molester. He has a father that's a child molester. I know I'm tongue-tied today, y'all. But you'll be surprised. Some families got a lot of history of this type of sick behavior, and they will not tell you. They will not tell you. You will feel comfortable and leave your child around their uncle. Leave your child around your boyfriend's brother. Leave your child around your boyfriend's father, not even knowing that father is a molester. That father has his history of touching children, because a lot of these families, they had a lot of damn secrets. You got some families that got more damn secrets than the FBI. They're not going to tell you the real deal, and don't forget the thumbs up, y'all. I appreciate the thumbs up. They will not tell you this. And if you women, if you are so thirsty and you're so desperate, you want a man so bad, you will overlook a lot of significant details. But my thing is this, with this situation here with Mrs. Gonzalez, like I said, they've already had 2 incidences. And if him and her already had verbal altercations or physical altercations, why in the hell would you allow your child to be around somebody who you don't get along with? And this man, evidently, if he's a convict and if he's been incarcerated, he probably never got any real treatment, any real help, any real therapy, because a lot of these men, when they're in prison, a lot of them don't even want no type of help. They don't want any type of therapy, because a lot of them don't think nothing wrong with them to begin with. And you can't change something if you don't feel like you have a problem. This man probably has anger issues. This man probably comes from a family with, hell, he probably been molested his damn self. There's a lot of men who walk around here who done been molested. And because they're men, they're too embarrassed to tell you their history. They're too ashamed to tell you, I've been tampered with. Men, it's an ego thing. They got pride. They're not going to tell somebody they've been touched or they've been tampered with as a child. It's embarrassing. And it does a lot to their manhood to have to confess that another man has touched you. It has tampered your youth. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, we don't know what has provoked this man to hurt this child. Let me tell you something, ladies. Y'all do not sit down and have good conversation with these men. Y'all don't take y'all time to get to know them. Y'all move them in your apartment. Y'all move them in your home after only knowing them for a couple of months, a couple of weeks, and you don't even know. You may be dealing with a man who don't like children. So everybody don't like kids. Some people don't like children. You'll be surprised. Simple questions people don't ask during the process of dating. Some people don't ask, do you like children? Do you, or not even that, because people still going to lie now. Make no mistake about it. Of course, a molester is going to say, oh, I like children. I love children. You have to look at little stuff, ladies. Pay attention. Does he let your child sit on his lap? Has he gotten comfortable with, you've only known him for a week or two, and he lets your child, your daughter, in some cases, hell, your son too, does he let this child sit on his lap? If he does, what does he let him sit at? Does he let him sit on the knee? Or does he let that child sit on the crouch in front of him? Little stuff like that you don't pay attention to. Other things, another sign that you may need to be wary of. He always wants to be alone with the child. Every move you make, well, I'm about to go to the grocery store. You want to come with me? You want to come? No, we good. You can leave us here. We fine. He never wants to go anywhere with you. He always wants to be alone with your child. Don't forget the thumbs up, everyone. Yeah. Little stuff like that. He always want to be alone with your child. Do he be getting up all type of wee hours of the night, checking on your children? I mean, unless he is their biological father, or unless he's somebody you can really trust like that, does he get up all time of night, creeping down the hall, going in your daughter's room, closing the door, locking the door? Is your child acting funny? Do you notice any changes in your child's behavior? Does your child act different when he comes around? Does your child seems like a totally different person when he's in your presence? This is stuff that you women is not freaking paying attention to when it comes to your children. Does he want to stand around when your daughter is changing herself, changing her clothes? Pay attention to stuff like that. Stop looking at how fine he look and stop focusing on how good his pipe is in the bedroom. Pay attention to stuff like that. It's all kind of signs. It's small things you don't pay attention to. It could be something as simple as his own family don't like to deal with him. His own family don't talk to him. If you're dealing with a man or woman and their family have nothing to do with them, their family never call them, never reach out to them, that's a sign. If your mate family don't want nothing to do, you better do some research. If your mate family don't want nothing to do with your mate, it may be a reason for that. Maybe they disowning him because of some dirty ass stuff he done did, and your simple ass got him in your house and you don't even know. It's all kind of signs. Pay attention to your daughter. Pay attention to your child. They not acting like they normal self around this person. Because sometimes if a child sees that their mother is so in love with this man, she's not going to tell her mama that, Mr. Craig keep touching me. I'm going to call him Chester. Because I don't use nobody named Craig. Chester the child molester. She's not going to say, Mr. Chester keep touching me. Mr. Chester keep coming in my room late at night, going under my blanket, touching me. Mr. Chester making me do this and do that. Especially because Chester molesters are very slick now. They threaten these kids, tell them, if you tell your mama, I'ma hurt her. You tell your daddy, I'ma kill him. This is the stuff Y'all don't want to talk because y'all too busy smiling and laughing with these niggas and not even understanding that your child is in danger. That your child is not feeling safe. Yeah, and I agree, Matt V. You don't need to be introducing your children to every Tom, Dick, and Daryl. And I know plenty of them that do it. I could call some females out right now. Don't know these men and got these men staying around, especially when you got daughters. My goodness. You got a do you know when a molester finds out there's a woman with a bunch of daughters in one household? That's like molester's paradise. That's predator's paradise. When a man moves into your home and he's a registered sex offender and he knows a bunch of females, he knows a bunch of vaginas under one roof, that's predator's paradise. You know that. I mean, come on. You women is using social media for everything, but y'all not using the internet to do your research. I'm nosy. I check my doggone local jail. I check my local jail website every week to be in the loop of what's going on. I check my state registered sex offender website almost every 3 months. I ain't checked it in a minute. I got to check it lately. I'm telling you, y'all think I'm lying? I'm serious, a heart attack. I know there's plenty of men I ran into in the street, and I know he's a sex offender because I saw his face on the registered sex offender list because I don't forget faces. And had I not checked that list, I would have been walking right past a molester and not even know it. Because these guys, they look normal. Every molester don't look creepy. Every molester don't look scary. I done told you women, some of these guys look good. Okay? So you can't go by how fine he look. I don't care if he's well dressed. Every molester ain't no 70, 80-year-old creepy ass dude. You got molesters at 15 years old, y'all. 15, 14 years old already got a record for molesting somebody's child. It's a sickness. And if this man or woman has not gotten any real psychological help and you allow this man or your woman in your home, you're going to have some problems. You opening the front door to the enemy. You letting the devil right in your household because you so desperate. You want a man so bad, you don't want to do your research. And even if that is your child's father, certain things, ladies, common sense. My daughter's 16 years old, and I'm married to her father. I've been with him 18 years. If I see him always going in her bathroom every time she using it, I'm going to be like, what the hell going on? Why are you in the bathroom so much with our daughter? If he's standing around her while she changing clothes, I'm going to be like, oh, hell no. I told my daughter, I don't care who touches her, even if it's her dad, her uncle, whoever. I need to know. I don't give a damn. And I don't even allow her to walk around here dressing all kind of way. Some of y'all mothers so ignorant, y'all let y'all daughters just like grown-ass women around y'all perverted-ass boyfriends and husbands. Your daughter don't need to be walking around with boom boom shorts on and her butt cheeks hanging out and you know this man stay with you. Don't let her tempt him like that. Cause y'all so busy kiki laughing in these men's face and don't even understand the enemy is creeping into your household. Slowly but surely, the enemy is creeping into your household. Stop letting your daughters sit around you and these grown men like they're your goddamn friend. If your boyfriend or your man to your crib and he got his homeboys with him, what the hell is your teenage daughter doing sitting in amongst y'all conversation? What is up with that? Yeah, yeah, exactly, James. That's right. Some of these daughters just as hot as their goddamn mamas. And they don't be ready for that kind of attention, y'all. They don't be ready like they think. They think they want a grown man attention. And when they get along with that grown man, they realize, oh hell, there's more to it than what they thought. They can't handle these grown men. These grown men get them in that bedroom, rough them up, and drill them like a grown-ass woman. They can't handle it. I don't play that. I don't even let my daughter leave out this house dressing all kind of way, because I got a bunch of dudes that stay next door. A bunch of them. My daughter's well developed. Couple of times I've seen her leaving the house, just want to throw on the shirt and something. I said, no. You ain't leaving out of here like that. Well, mama, I'm just going to my car. I don't give a piss. You got some grown-ass men who live around here. They can see your print through your pants. You know? As a grown woman, you supposed to school your daughters to this type of stuff, man. Let's see. Met V. A lot of single mothers try to compete with their daughters. Both of them walking around with panties and drawers on, and it's a grown-ass man sitting there. And guess what? He ain't even looking at her old ass. He looking at her daughter. These pervs don't be want your old wrinkle behind. They want that new meat. They want that fresh meat. There's too much going on. You know, y'all allowing y'all daughters to act all womanly. And when you got to realize when you're dealing with a molester, in the mind of a molester, in the mind of a predator, I'm telling you, I take up psychology classes. In their mind, when the child is acting womanly, now follow me on this. When a child, she could be 3 years old, she could be 4 years old, and you know how a child like to pop it and act all womanly? Don't you know in the back of a predator's mind, because they're not normal, they don't think like the average adult. He thinking she wants some dick and she only 3 years old, 4 years old. And a lot of you grown women, I fought y'all for that. Don't forget the thumbs up, everyone. Please make sure you thumb me up. And then not even realizing, you know, these children, they are only doing what they are allowed to do. They are only doing what they are trained to do. You full-grown women twerking and doing splits, all kind of stuff around your grandchildren, around your children. You think they're not going to pick up on that? You think they're not going to see like something wrong with that? You know, they catch up. These children soak in everything. They soak in everything. They pay attention. Kids always pick up on the wrong stuff before they do the right stuff. These kids will pick up on somebody twerking before they pick up on doing alphabets. I mean, that's just the way it is. These kids always pick up on the worst things first before they pick up on the right things. That's the way it's always been. You know, you women are lacking in discernment. You're not using good wisdom. You're not paying attention to little stuff. You're so busy enjoying the fruits of having a man in your house. He ain't even got to pay your bills. He ain't even got to come to you with a car. He ain't got to come to you with none of that stuff. But just the fact that he's a man and he has a penis, that's all he got to produce. That's all. It's so sad. These grown women today, and I'm not saying all grown women. Let me make sure I clarify this. This message is not for all black women, okay? If it does not apply, you don't have to reply. If you're a grown woman and you know you handle your business, you do your research, you ain't letting every Tom, Dick, and Daryl in your house, then this ain't for you. But for you women who are doing this, if I'm stepping on your toes, then that's too bad. Y'all not paying attention to the little things. But what it is, these days, y'all have gotten so desperate. A man, all he got to do is produce the 2 P's. Y'all don't know what the 2 P's are. I'm going to tell you what the 2 P's are. His penis and his presence. Now I got to get me something to drink, so y'all got to hold this thought because my mouth getting dry. Okay, I'm back. I had to get my little detox drink. Y'all, I'm trying to work on drinking better, changing my diet habits. So this is my little detox drink. All I did was infuse strawberries, blueberries, and I put 1 packet of stevia sugar and just a little bit of honey. And it's pretty good. It's better than soda. It's better than juice. It's just water with fruits in it. And if you let it infuse long enough, it's just as good as juice. It's just water with fruits in it. But you got to let it like infuse for like a day or two for you to get the full effect. So I'm just trying to change my drinking habits a little bit better, but it's really good. But yeah, anyway, as I was stating, you know, y'all are getting too comfortable with allowing these doggone grown men to be in your house, and y'all don't know them that well. Y'all don't check their record. And why is it for life of me? Why these women keep picking up convicts? It seems like they always move in convicts. And I'm not saying every brother who done been incarcerated, every brother that went to jail is no good, because some of y'all just been in prison for stupid ass stuff, you know, like theft and robbery and stuff like that. You know, everybody makes mistakes. You know, everybody got a pass. But for you doggone you women, y'all seem to move in these convicts that got child molestation records, sex offenders, rapists. Y'all always move in the worst kind. Y'all just have like, y'all don't use no common sense at all. All a man got to produce is his penis and his presence. And that's it. Y'all don't make him produce a criminal record. This is stuff you need to be investigating. This is the stuff you need to be looking into. Oh, that's strong there. Ugh. Anyway, I say all that to say this, because I know I'm all over the place. It is far too many children that are getting injured or who are dying at the hands of their mother's fiance, boyfriend. And basically this comes from the mother's lack of wisdom, negligence, and lack of common sense. Don't let your desperation cloud your common sense. Don't let desperation cloud your common sense. You have to be very careful who you allow in the presence of your home. I don't care how good looking a guy looks. I don't care how smart he talks. I don't care if he has a gift of gab and he talks like he has so much common sense and he talks like he's so wise. You got some people that are professional con artists. They know how to dress the part. They know how to play the game. They know how to talk the game. They're really good at how they talk. They're really good at how they put their words together. You have some people that are professional liars. They are professional liars. And if you are desperate and you so badly want a relationship, you so badly want a companion, and the same thing for you gentlemen. You so badly going after a woman for her looks because she has a nice body. She has hair all down her back and it's hers, and she looks pretty, she looks good, and all of that. You still don't know mentally what type of person you're dealing with. That's the problem. Because mentally, by the time you really find out what you're dealing with, it takes time before you can find out a person's mental dynamics, their mental capacities. You're not going to find that out over 1 or 2 dinners at the Olive Garden and 1 or 2 drinks at the sports bar. It takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of research for you to find out, because everybody's going to put on their best presentation. I tell y'all, dating is nothing but a job interview. People are going to only put on the parts that they want you to see. People are not going to tell you the real deal. Nobody's not going to say, yeah, I am a child molester. Nobody's not going to say, yeah, I am a woman beater. Nobody's not going to say, I am a man eater. I use men. I take them for what they got. Nobody's not going to show you their real flaws. People are not going to show you the real bad sides of them. Okay? And if you see these signs, lady, I just told a lot of you ladies the signs to look for. Pay attention to stuff like that. Is he always wanting to be by himself with your children? Is he always getting up all time of night? You know, leaving, getting up out the bed? Is your child acting funny? Is your child acting scary? Pay attention to stuff like that. Thanks, Hershey Kids. Thank you for stopping by. Just doing a topic on a situation that's going on. A little girl by the name of Bella Edwards. She was murdered by her mom's husband, her mom's boyfriend, husband. She was married to him, Mark Jenkins. 32 years old. He is being charged with murder. So far, they discovered through the autopsy that little Bella has not only been assaulted, but she's also been sexually assaulted. The best thing a man can do is talk to the dad. I mean, you know, I tell you guys, if you have children from a woman and y'all are not in a relationship, make sure you meet the boyfriends. Make sure you do your own research. If she's so damn desperate and gullible, you get his first name. You get his last name. You do the research. Don't always leave it in these women hands to protect your child. You men have to learn how to protect your children as well. Exactly, Vicky. You know, we have to use discernment. But the part that disturbs me about the situation, y'all, him and her just had a child. They just had a 3-month-old baby named Logan. Now, how is it he hurt her child from a previous relationship, but he didn't hurt the child they had? Y'all don't see something funny with that? So I don't know if he meant to hurt this child because he was pissed with her. Why he didn't hurt the other child? Both of them was there. That sound kind of fishy to me. Hopefully he didn't hurt her child out of spite. Hopefully they didn't get into an argument. I'm sure all of it is going to come out in court. But that just sounds very ironic to me that he didn't hurt their child, but he hurt her child she had from a previous relationship. So that strikes to me, he's not that crazy. He's not that mental because he didn't hurt his child, but he hurt her child. I mean, does that make any sense to y'all where I'm going with it? So it got to be more behind the story. Like for all of y'all who just coming in, it's already, the police department already stated they done been over there twice for 2 domestic disputes. So him and her was already having problems. Okay? Now, I don't know if those disputes was physical or verbal, but him and her already wasn't clicking. So I find it ironic that her child is hurt, but the child he had from her isn't. I don't know about that. This is why I preach so strongly on this. You know, you have a lot of women that will run out there and grab a random relationship to prove a point. They want to hurry up and get a man because the man who they really want or the man who they still really in love with don't want them. So to prove a point, they'll run out there and pick up another Jody just to prove a point and say, I got a man, I got somebody. Especially if the man they really want has moved on and has already made it very clear that he's not interested in getting back with her. You have some women who will run out there and intentionally get another random relationship just to avoid having to be by themselves. That's what I'm saying, Hershey. Is it out of spite? Why he ain't hurt their child? Really? That's what I'm saying. If him or her already had problems, and you have some men that I've seen many cases like this, where the man would be so pissed with the mother, they take it out on the child. And I've learned this in criminal justice because, as I already told y'all, I'm in process. I'm getting my second master's degree in Homeland Security right now as we speak. I just had a job interview. Excuse me. I just had a job interview with the police department. So I'm going to be getting polygraphed and all of that very soon. So I'm really hoping I land this career. I really hope this really works out in my favor, because I really believe I have a calling in law enforcement. I really want to help people. I'm really compassionate and helping people and trying to be a service to people. So I'm really hoping that all goes through. So I just thought I'd put that little bug out there. But yeah, I just had an interview on that. But we'll talk about all that another time. But anyway, as I was saying, I've learned in criminal justice that most children who experience child abuse or sexual abuse, statistics have proven that most of these type of cases where a child has experienced this type of injury or abuse, it comes from, it's usually from the stepfather or the mama's boyfriend. It's very rarely that a child gets hurt from a relative. Now, we know it's been cases where children have gotten hurt from who have gotten abused from relatives, but I'm saying the statistics are higher from a step-parent. So, on that note, it's very imperative that you women are careful with who y'all allow in your home, because the majority of children who are hurt or injured, it's the step-parents that do it. You know why? They don't have any compassion for that child because they did not produce that child. They didn't bring that child in this world. They did not bring that child in this world or whatever. So they're not going to have any compassion. They're not going to have any remorse when it comes to hurting your child. They didn't help you produce that child. You're going to be the one that's hurt. And the father of your child is going to be the one that's hurt. These predators, these molesters, they don't care about hurting children. They really don't care. Let's see. Yeah, Hershey. We hear about stories like this all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all go on any YouTube channel. Y'all always hear about a child getting hurt. 9 times out of 10, it was from the stepfather or the mama's boyfriend or the mama's fiance. I heard one case where a guy got so pissed with the woman not wanting him back, not wanting nothing to do with him. He took the child. The child was newborn. He knew this woman just had her baby. He was so pissed that she didn't no longer want to be with him. He took her child and threw it out in the car seat, threw the baby out in the highway, and the child got ran over by another vehicle and got killed. He was just that mad. People, let me tell y'all something. When people get mad or people get hurt or people get pissed with you, people don't care how far they got to go to try to hurt you. Even if it means hurting your child. You have to be very careful. If you end a relationship or you want to end a connection with somebody, make sure that person doesn't have access to your child when you end that relationship, that friendship. Make sure your child is nowhere around, because depending on that person's mental state of mind, they may not take that rejection easily, and they will hurt your child. And the people you least expect. Same person who been playing with your child, taking your child to the playground, buying your child chips and cookies. You'll never think they would even hurt your child. Be the main one to turn around and hurt your child because you won't kiss their ass no more, or you won't do what they want you to do, or you don't want to be with them. The first thing they'll go after is your child. You know, and same thing, you know, with you guys. You have to be careful. You have some women out there who are some registered sex offenders. They've been a mess around and took your son to bed. You thinking she wants you? She wants your son. You got some women that do it too. So you can't keep this prejudice thought that it's just men. It's just women. It's just black men. It's just white men. You don't know who is capable of anything. Never, ever underestimate your opponent. You really don't know what people are truly capable of. But really, again, this situation is very sad. It's very tragic. I can only imagine, you know, what both families are going through. I'm sure the guy who murdered Um, this child, I'm sure even his family is shocked. I'm sure they're embarrassed. I'm sure they're ashamed. These things you never look for to happen. You just never look for something like this. You can never prepare yourself for this type of situation. And I know the Mrs. Gonzalez, she's devastated. She's going to blame herself for the rest of her life. Losing a child is never easy. I have lost a child. I have miscarried a child. And that's still been a daily struggle for me. But to have somebody take your child from you is even worse. And they took it through a very violent and a very brutal attack. That's even worse. So she's going to hate herself for the rest of her life. Hopefully she stays sane for her little boy's sake. Because like I said, she has a child. She has a 3-month-old from the man who murdered her daughter. And the bad part is when a son becomes older, he's going to have to hear the history that his father, I'm apologizing, my mind's all over the place. When his child gets older, he's going to have to deal with the fact that his father murdered his sister when he gets up in his age. This whole family is going to need a whole lot of psychological and spiritual help. I don't know how she's going to recover from this because a lot of this could have been avoided. I'm sure she's probably would never admit it to anyone, but I'm sure now she's looking back and she's paying attention to the signs. She's looking at the time he, taught her daughter too rough one morning. Or one time he raised his voice at her. I'm sure now she's looking back and she's having little flashbacks and she's thinking. I'm sure it's all coming to her now. She's putting it all together like, I knew this dude been having problems. She didn't want to see it because she was so in love with him and that was her husband. But I can promise you all, I bet she is sitting back and analyzing and reflecting on everything. And looking back, thinking about that time he raised his voice at her, that time he snapped at her daughter wrong. She's going to blame herself for the rest of her days. And I hate to say it, but when you put men first, this is what happens, ladies. When you put men first before your children and you put your desires first, you make your desires more important than your children's safety, then this is what happens. You put your children in harm's way. Yeah, Vicky, he was beyond angry. Absolutely. He was a psychopath. I agree with you 100% on that one. Absolutely. Yeah, he was past angry. He already was a psychopath. He had a lot of issues already because it should have not been nothing that this child could have done to stir him up to get him that angry to have to kill this child. What's up, Datorian? Thank you for stopping on by and everything. Yeah, we're talking about a little girl named Bella who has been killed by her stepfather. So that has made headlines and they have made it has made headlines. It has gone viral. I actually posted the link up in the chat room, so it's in there if you want to look more into the story. But that's what's going on. We're talking about women who are moving men into their homes out of desperation. They're not checking these men's background. They're not checking their criminal history. They don't check what kind of family they come from. Y'all need, when y'all go to these men houses, y'all better check their medicine cabinet. Y'all better see if they taking any type of Prozac or any medicine for schizophrenic. I mean, y'all better do a lot of research instead of looking at how big his package is. You better look at how big his criminal record is. That's what you better be looking at. Yeah, it's just too many. It's just too many people. Yeah, Harvey. It's just too many people that they so badly want a man. They so badly want a woman. They will let their children suffer. They will let their children, be caught up in harm's way. I see a lot of women do it. It's a lot of women do it. Everybody knows somebody who done move you. Everybody knows that one chick who done moved this man in her house, in her apartment, around or her 4, 5, and it's always the women who got the most children who do this. Y'all ever notice it? It's always the women who got 4, 5 kids. Y'all got a bunch of kids and will let these men move in the presence of all your children. You come home from work and find your children dead, hung, missing. Come on. It's ridiculous. We had a big old case here, and I'm gonna end it with this. But we had a case here in Savannah where there was a woman who was actually a police officer, and it was a really big case here in Savannah. And her daughter, Ashley Moore, went missing for almost like a month or so. Weeks went by, and her daughter went missing. And what happened was the mother, she was a correctional officer, and she met this man in prison, met this convict, and made this convict her man. Okay? Lost her job and everything behind him. She so badly wanted this man, she took him in her home, lost her job as a police officer. And I don't understand how people could lose their job as a police officer, because all the stuff you got to go through, because they're checking everything on me. I ain't even in there yet, and I'm already going through all kind of stuff just doing the interviewing process. I had to do polygraphs and all kind of stuff. It's just very extensive, y'all, when you go into law enforcement. They check everything. So, for you to go through all of that to get in this line of career and to lose it over a penis. But anyway, so she moved the convict in her home. Coincidentally, when she moved him in her home, her child, her daughter, came up missing. I think her daughter was maybe 13, 14 at the time. Maybe 15, I'm not sure. And long story short, they knew he had something to do with the child's death, because they found her eventually. They found her body in the river, and the state knew it was him, but the problem was they had no way of pinning it on him. They had no way of they had no real solid evidence, but they knew he did it. They knew he did it, and so what the state did was they got slick, and whatever other crime he committed, they charged him for that, but it didn't hold near as much weight as the murder for the girl Ashley. And to this day, her mother has to walk down hall of shame, because the whole Savannah knows you lost your job. And not only you lost your job as a law enforcement officer messing with a convict, but you lost your daughter. And everybody knows to this day, everybody knows this man had everything to do with that murder. They say him and his friend was in on it. Soon as she let this man in her home, her child comes up missing. Okay, come on, do the math. So what ended up happening was he ended up doing some time, but it wasn't for that. The state charged him with something, because the state wanted to charge him with something, because everybody was just that angry about the situation. But they really still couldn't penalize him for that. So he's out of jail now. He's out of jail, and he lives in a neighborhood. He don't live in my neighborhood, but he's living in a regular house just like everybody else. And it's scary, because this man could repeat that same offense, and all because of this desperate dumb bird who so badly wanted a man, knew he had a record. It's just ridiculous, y'all. But anyway, my heart goes out to both families that have to deal with this tragedy. It's very sad, and it's very unfortunate that it took a child's life to be taken for people to take it seriously. Y'all need to wake up. Stop being blind. Stop being desperate. Stop being hard up. Stop thinking that every man that's smiling in your face, he wants you. He might not even want you. He might want your daughter. Stop allowing your daughters to carry themselves womanly around these perverts. Don't let them dress all kind of way around these men, because these young girls, they don't think that these men are looking at their bodies in an inappropriate manner. So as women, you have to be very careful. Don't let your daughter look and dress all kind of way. Like I said, my daughter is 16. I don't let her dress all kind of way around her father. I tell her, no, she likes to get out the tub and Don't want to throw no towel on? No, ma'am. No. Your father lives here. And that is her biological father. But me as a mother, as grown women, that's when we're supposed to step in and teach our daughters. You got to teach them stuff like that. Because if y'all, think about it, ladies, if you let your daughters be comfortable walking around your dad, with their own dad and their own family, imagine when they go spend a night at one of their girlfriend's house. And her girlfriend has a brother. Her girlfriend has uncles. Her girlfriend got a dad. She's going to do the same thing. She's going to walk around him half naked, loose, showing her boobs and all kind of stuff, and not see nothing wrong with it. You know, you have to watch all of this. Yeah, watch these school dance groups. Yeah, watch. I agree with that, Matt V. Pay attention as parents. You are supposed to be the observer. You're supposed to be observer. You, as a parent, you're supposed to be a monitor. You are supposed to monitor everything when it comes to your children. Okay, so on that note, again, my heart goes out to the Jenkins. My heart goes out to the Gonzaleses. My heart goes out to the Edwards. I have all three families have my deepest sympathy. I do not have any sympathy for the mother who already knew him and her was already having problems getting along. He probably was cussing out half of the time, putting his hands on her half of the time. She ignored it. Still allowing him to be around her daughter. I told you, women, if you and your significant other is not getting along, last thing you need to do is leave your child in the presence of somebody that you don't even get along with, okay? Because if they can't get to you to hurt you, they'll definitely try to hurt your child, okay? So on that note, again, you know, my heart goes out to the families that had to experience such a tragedy. But when you don't use your wisdom and you don't use your knowledge, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens. You open your home to the enemy. On that note, it is your girl, Lady Mocha. And the only reason I've been going live a lot, y'all, is because my main camera where I usually do my recording and I usually do my editing, it is all the way down. It is my laptop has died, okay? I don't have it anymore, so now I have to upgrade up on my equipment. I have to upgrade on everything. Thank all of y'all for the donations, because that is what's going to help me to be able to get the next a bigger and better machine, something more reliable, something more up to date. So slowly but surely, thank all of you for all of y'all donations. I'm getting closer and closer to my goal, so I'll be able to get that laptop that I need with the state-of-the-art camera, so I can bring all of my subscribers and my viewers the best quality, the best professionalism, you know, because I believe in being professional with the type of quality of work that I do when it comes to me doing my blogging and everything. So again, I thank all of you for the donations, all of your support. Also, if you want a sample of my book, DNA, Dick and Attention, The Broken Black Woman's Disease, I will be glad to give you a sample of that book. I discuss all type of topics. It's good information. It's not just a woman bashing book. It's basically a revelation for a lot of black women. So I believe this would be helpful to you as women. And you guys, I'm definitely going to put y'all on with a lot of knowledge and a lot of information about women, stuff that you never even was aware of. I got a lot of insightful information. If you want a sample of that book before it's actually done, email me at cafedeparis79@yahoo.com, and I will send you a sample of the book, so that way you get to read a little bit of it before I even send it to you. So you can decide if you want to invest in the book when the book is ready, okay? So on that note, I thank all of you for tuning in to Cafe de Paris. It is your girl, Lady Mocha. And remember, y'all, I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth, and I'm going to always break you off a slice of knowledge. So y'all have a blessed one, and y'all take care, and I'll be hollering at y'all very soon. Bye.